Hi, it's Theo and thank you for joining me for my final reviews for the day of Rebirth, the Ungoro mini set. If you want to check out my other reviews, a playlist will be in the description. As always, my reviews will be in 1 minute or less. Today we're going over all the Rogue, Warlock and Warrior cards, so let's jump right in with the very first card for Rogue, which is the Crystal Tusk. A 2 mana 2/2 weapon, Battlecry, shuffle the leftmost card in your hand into your deck, Death Rattle, draw 2 cards. So this card looks a little bit like a Gear Shift, which was a 1 mana spell and that saw a lot of play because it was 1 mana draw a card basically. And then also get rid of their 2 leftmost cards, which are often worse cards on average. And of course you can also choose what to put there by playing other cards before playing this. So this card is better than just gaining 1 card extra on average. And yeah, it also has the weapon, of course, a 2/2 weapon, which is decent to have some early game. Also, Rogue is kind of lacking a great 2-drop, and this can kind of nicely deal with some early game minions. A downside though is, of course, we have already Metal Detector for Rogue, which kind of conflicts with this, right? You don't want to have too many weapons in a deck, so they can kind of work against each other. But still, I think it's going to be a solid card, right? Just cheap draw with an upside to it. And Rogue always likes these kind of cheap draw cards, so we're giving this card 3 stars. Then let's move on to the second Rogue card, which is the Costume Merchant. A 3 mana 1/3 Battlecry. Get a random mask from another class. Combo, it costs 2 less. So we've seen a couple of masks already, for example for Hunter Raid, set a minion to 8 it and give a charge. But yeah, the masks haven't been really that amazing. Like some of them are okay, but yeah, it's not really something that you want to get a random one from, like this card, right? You have to invest 3 mana into this card. Then yeah, there's combos, so you kind of have to combo it as well. It's not really worth it otherwise. And then you get a random mask that you just might not even want to use. And investing 3 mana in a deck like Rogue to maybe get a playable card, yeah, you just can't afford that. The masks aren't good enough. It's not worth going for like maybe a specific mask like Charge and copying it somehow. Just not worth it. This card is just too expensive to get a random card that's probably not even that good for the deck. So I don't think this card will see any play, and I'll be giving it 1 star. Then the third card for Rogue is a legendary. It's Mirax the Crystalline, a 3 mana 3/3 elemental beast. While in your hand, this is a 3/3 copy of the last minion your opponent played. So this card works even if you top deck it. It immediately transforms into one of those. And yeah, this card already seems really annoying to face. But playing this card, of course, it's depending on what your opponent plays. And in a very productive class like Rogue, yeah, these kind of cards aren't amazing because you depend on your opponent doing stuff that you want to be doing. And if it's like an aggro deck, just playing some, a Firefly or something, yeah, you don't really want to copy that, right? This is going to be stuck in your hand. Or against like a Starship deck, when you don't have Starship pieces, you don't care at all about getting those Starship pieces. So this card can just be stuck in your hand then. But of course, again, it's great if your opponent plays big stuff like an early Ysera, and then you copy that for 3 mana, or a Fire Wreck. So this can be solid against those decks, and yeah, we kind of have to see it really meta dependent. But I think it's still going to be a solid card, really annoying to face, and I'll be giving this card 3 stars. Then let's move to Warlock, and they got a pretty weird package, so let's get started with the very first card, which is the Possessed Animancer, a 6 mana 2/2 Death Rattle. Summon a random beast from your deck, give it lifesteal. So this is obviously a reference to the Possessed Lackey, where you summon a random demon from your deck, and that basically meant you got either Void Lord or a Doomguard. But this one summons a beast instead, and there are some good beasts to summon from your deck, right? Like the Whale, which is a 4/20 minion if you summon it from your deck, or you get like an Ultra Gigasaur, Croc the Crater King, which yeah, can be pretty good to cheat out with this card. Problem is though, unlike the other Lackey, is that you don't have a card that summons minions from your hand if you actually draw them. Like you had the Skull of the Minari, which summoned demons from your hand. And of course there's no cooldown to resummon all the beasts suddenly. And I just don't see what you want to be doing with this card. Like, yeah, summoning beasts can be nice, but drawing the beast is horrible. And whatever beast you summon, it doesn't even win the game. It's really slow for 6 mana, and then yeah, you do get lifesteal on the beast, but I don't expect the beast to live. Just don't feel like you want to be playing this in any Warlock deck right now, so I'll just be giving this card 1 star. Now let's move on to the second card, which is a beast you could summon over the previous card, which is the Asphyxiodon, an 8 mana 6/10 demon beast. Taunt. At the end of your turn, deal 5 damage to a random enemy minion. So obviously, yeah, this card is made for the previous card. And yeah, I guess it's decent to summon it of it, right? You get the 6/10 lifesteal Taunt, and then you lifesteal, deal 5 damage to a random enemy minion. But yeah, is this it? Is this the payoff for playing a 6 mana 2/2 and then hope you don't draw this card? Yeah, I don't think this card is good enough. Would you play this card by itself? Yeah, I don't think so. 5 damage to a random minion at turn 8. that doesn't do anything, right? Like, there's way more stats on the board by that turn. It's hard to see a time when this is worth playing on turn 8. And then cheating out is okay, but yeah, that's not worth putting those 2 cards in your deck just to cheat this out. So I just don't think you want to be playing this card, and I'm giving it 1 star. And then the last card for Warlock is the Bat Mask, an 8 mana spell. Set a friendly minion stats to 1/1, fill your board with copies of it. Now, this feels like a combo card, but also it's 8 mana, which isn't really good for a combo card. And I don't really see what you want to be copying with this. There aren't any cheap minions that have insane synergy, I think, with this card. You can maybe copy the previous Demon Beast that we showed, and yeah, that one means you deal 5 damage 7 times. But yeah, that means that that minion has to live, your opponent has to not have cleared it, and then you have to have this card, and yeah, that is the payoff, is just maybe clear the board. But you can't really play cards that rely on one of your minions living when it's far from guaranteed that they live. And by itself, yeah, I don't know how you can make this work. There's no mana cheat in Warlock right now that can really make this work. I just don't really see what you want to be copying with this. Like, you really need some mana cheat to get this going. And I'll be giving this card 1 star. I just don't see when you want to be playing this card unless you want to be Batman. Now, let's then move on to the last class of the reviews, which is Warrior, starting with the Barricade Basher, a 3 mana 4/3 beast. Whenever you gain armor, gain +2/+2 and attack a random enemy minion. So this card needs basically a bunch of armor cards in your deck, and then you can kind of clear the board maybe, depending on what there is. But there just aren't many ways to gain cheap armor. There's like concussive shells, of course. There's safety goggles, but are you going to be playing those cards just to make this card work? Which could maybe clear minion and then die itself. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be worth running. Like, we're already not running Shelnado as a card. That requires another armor card as well, so kind of similar to this, and that card seems way better. And this card, yeah, it doesn't really go into an aggressive deck where maybe the stats matter much. So yeah, it's purely like a slower control style card, and that's just better cards to play, right, than clearing. And you can't often save up your armor cards. You already have, again, Shelnado and like Hostile Invader. You want to save those cards for, yeah, this one just doesn't seem to be worth playing, so be giving it 1 star. Then the second card for Warrior we have is Guard Duty, a 7 mana spell. Summon a random 6, 4, and 2 cost taunt minion. So this card is a bit similar to that Paladin spell, which summoned like similarly statted minions, I guess, although slightly worse, and yeah, that didn't really see much play. It's just getting 3 random taunts here, and yeah, it just doesn't really clear the board right. Turn 7. Want to play this, it's not the greatest card to play proactively, and yeah, again, a card I just don't see what deck you want to be playing this in. If you're playing a control style deck, turn 7, if there's a big board, yeah, taunts aren't going to do enough, right? And you'd rather clear the board. And if you want to play this as a proactive card, this is just not really good enough. It's not really a win con. And while random 6 costs on average are actually pretty good, there's a lot of good 6 cost taunts you can get. Yeah, 4 cost, 2 cost. They're not too amazing, so I just don't see a good reason to spend 7 mana on this spell to maybe get good stuff. That just isn't worth it nowadays. So I'll be giving this card 1 star. And then the last card of the set, we have the last legendary as well. It's the Great Dracorex, an 8 mana 5/12 beast dragon. Rush. After this attacks an enemy minion, it damages all other enemy minions. So basically just a big AoE of 5 damage to all enemy minions, and you basically just want to hit the smallest minion there is. But yeah, it does cost 8 mana, and that's a lot for just 5 AoE damage. The fact that this can't clear anything above 5 health means that often, yeah, you just don't want to be playing it, right? Because you often have to clear those big minions, and it just makes it kind of hard to see play as a control tool, right? We had Deathwing before in the core set, and it didn't see play at all anymore, and that would actually kill big minions. And this one, yeah, it just doesn't kill the big minions. Now, the only deck I could see it maybe being played in is like a Dragon Warrior, right? It's a dragon you have in your hand to enable other dragons. It can be a card that you can copy as an egg or resurrect if you need to board clear, so it can be kind of flexible. So I don't want to completely write this card off, because maybe in the Dragon Warrior, if that ever becomes a viable deck, it will see play. So I'll be giving this a 2 star rating. So that is it for all the cards for the mini set. Now let me know in the comments, what card are you looking forward most to be playing with, and do you think this mini set, yeah, will shake up the meta a lot, or is it not gonna make a big difference? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time.